My name is Michael Gleason, and this is video memo number 3. The first concept I would like to discuss is the welfare state. A welfare state means the government is responsible for providing assistance to enhance the well-being of its citizens. The idea of a welfare state is a relatively new one, and modern welfare states began to take shape in the 18th and 19th centuries. There are different theories explaining the development of welfare states in modern society. One theory, called the logic of industrialism thesis, states that governments develop social welfare programs to solve societal problems created by industrialism. Because industrialism tends to leave people unable to work at a disadvantage, people who cannot work, like children, the elderly, and disabled people, need to be taken care of or at least aided by the state. An example of a social program designed to help the elderly is Social Security, which helps meet the needs of elderly citizens who no longer work. A second theory that could explain the growth of the welfare state is called the neo-Marxist theory. This theory states that the welfare state exists to mediate differences between social classes and ensure the long-term health of society. According to the neo-Marxist theory, welfare states provide economic security and necessities for the working class in order to ease tensions that may be felt by the lower classes. As a result, the rich owners of production can remain rich without having to worry about radical behavior from disgruntled lower-class citizens. In the United States, welfare programs exist as contributory programs like Social Security or rights to means-tested programs like food stamps. Citizens become eligible for contributory programs through tax contributions while they work. Rights to means-tested programs, however, are provided to those who can prove they have insufficient financial resources to provide basic necessities for themselves. The second topic I would like to discuss is the paradox of authority. According to Max Weber, a state is a human community that successfully claims they can use physical force to enforce their laws in a certain area. This means that the foundation of a state's authority comes from the threat of violence and destruction to those that oppose the will of the state. The threat of violence is what makes people conform to the wishes of the state. The authority of a state is called into question when coercion, or force, is used to achieve a goal. This is the paradox of authority. When a state has to use physical force, it loses the authority over and respect of its citizens. Authority is lost because when a state resorts to violence to control its people, it proves that the majority of people living within the state are not listening to the will of the state or disagree with a specific decision made by state leaders. Social welfare and the paradox of authority both tie into the modern idea of the state. In today's society, most people expect government to provide for the less fortunate through various taxpayer-funded social programs. This is social welfare and is an extremely important part of modern society. However, social welfare programs may also bolster the authority of the state. Without social welfare, the poor, elderly, and disabled will struggle, and they, along with their loved ones, would begin to resent the state. This resentment could grow until the state needs to use force to maintain order. At this point, the state would lose authority because they had to resort to using force to get people in line. Welfare helps states maintain authority by preventing angst and resentment in lower classes. Instead of challenging the circumstances which led to them needing welfare, most welfare recipients are content to receive their aid without question.